Hello there, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Knocks to Nuggets. My name is Uluwayomi Ute, and it's such a joy to come your way this very beautiful Monday morning. I'm so glad to be with you today. And like I will always say, thank God for the gift of life, because it's because we have life that we can all be together. A big thank you to every single person joining me live. I do not take it for granted at all. Thank you so much for giving me a share of your time. And like I'll always say, please like the video, share it, let somebody out there know that there is something called Knocks to Nuggets. Let's grow this community together. If you're watching on any other platform, please hop to my YouTube channel thereafter and please subscribe, like, share, and also pass your comments there. I will appreciate that so much. And today I'm excited about what we're discussing today because I think it's something every single person needs to hear about. And so call up your friends, let them all tune in. And thank God because it's on YouTube even after now. So they can go back and watch it. And you also can watch it again and again because you never hear it all at once. Today we're talking about handling personal finance in a season of inflation. Is that not so real? That's the season we are in. It's global. It's not just limited to Nigeria, West Africa, it's actually global. Even though Nigeria, we have our peculiar challenges, but trust me, inflation is global. How do we handle our personal finance at this time? One of the things that strikes you at the time of inflation is that your disposable income is just going down, is diminishing, and you need to get these things. And nobody is increasing salary at the same rate as inflation. So what do? My guest in the house is a chartered accountant by profession, is chartered accountant of over 35 years, is a managing partner and lead consultant of CEO Bishesson and Company, is a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, is a member of Chartered Institute of Administrators of Nigeria, is a certified personal finance coach with Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, USA, is a lecturer with Babcock University, is an author, is a mentor, is a coach, is a finance advisor, is everything that's relative to today's topic. And I'm sure you want to listen to him. And after listening to him, you also want to get his books. And we'll talk about his books much later. But join me at this time to welcome on stage. He's not new, he's been here before, but let's welcome him back again. My brother, my big brother and friend, Reverend Sunkanmi Obishesan. So you're going to see him in a moment. Let's give him a beautiful Knocks to Nuggets welcome. Hey, there he
Thank
is.
you so much. Thank you. I am so grateful to be here, and thank you so much, Yomi Ute, for this privilege, and thank you for everybody for being here, for being on this call every Monday. And I'm sure that today we're all going to learn together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, big brother. Good to have you on the call. And I'm just going to let it on you because what we're talking about today is really it concerns everybody.
Mm.
The high, the low, the medium, every single person is concerned. When a time of growing inflation and nobody is increasing salary with the rate of inflation, how do we handle our personal finances at this time and season that we are in? Over to you, sir.
All right. This topic is an interesting one. Um, But
Mm-hmm.
first of all, let me just say that there's about being a lecturer at Babcock University. I am but now okay. So we have a program. So I belong to Church Administrative Society of Nigeria. We have an executive program diploma with them. So that is where I lecture, the executive diploma program. So not
Okay.
Babcock University itself. So that
Okay.
yeah.
We'll clear
Okay.
that.
So yeah. Okay. So this topic we're discussing is an interesting one, and an interesting one because, like you said earlier, it cuts across the whole world. Everybody is feeling it, is biting, everywhere. It's a topic that uh, we can't handle even in in two sessions that we planned for it, it's broad. It's broad, and it's interesting that there's a book I just wrote, that actually would help you to delve more into it, because we can't do everything here. The book is called "Thriving in Economic Crisis." Thriving in economic crisis. Now, you get a link to that book by Monday next week. But let me start by saying, because now what I want to do today, Yomi, actually, is that I just want to lay a foundation for it, for this topic, and then next week, maybe give one or two other information as to what can be done now. But first of all, is that yes, I know that inflation is high. People are going through different financial challenges, both personally, families, corporations, institutions, and all that. But you also agree with me that in this same situation, in this same economic situation, that the world is in now, there are people who are building houses, who
Mm.
are starting new businesses, who
True.
are who are enjoying the best of vacations now, who are
True.
I'm talking about but in this same time that most people are saying that things are tough, things are hard, things are this and all that. Some guys are just
They're
they,
cruising.
they have the best of their time. Now, what does that mean? Now, I discovered that there are five things, at least five things, of course, which I talked exclusively, expansively in the book. Five things. Number one thing, because the question asked is, if some are, if some are having the best of time within the worst of time, now,
Yeah.
the best of time within the worst of times, then why and how?
Mm.
Why are they, so why is this happening, and how are they doing? So five things. Number one is choice and preparation. That's number one.
Mm.
Choice and preparation. Number two is mental adjustment. Mental
Mm.
adjustment. Number three is verbal affirmation, or you can call it
Mm.
verbal endorsement. I want to call it verbal endorsement. So number one is choice and preparation. Number two is mental
Mm.
adjustment, and number three is verbal endorsement. Verbal endorsement. And then number four is active engagement. And then number five is spiritual alignment. Now, so number four, like I said, is active engagement, and then number
Mm.
five is spiritual alignment. Now, these are the five things I have discovered that differentiates people, in any season, whether it's the season of abundance or season of leanness, whatever it is. Now, these are the five things that differentiate people. Now, let me say this, Yobi, that an
Yeah.
emergency an emergency is an urgent, sudden, unexpected, and that means unprepared for situation.
Yeah.
And usually is usually a dangerous situation, now, that poses an immediate risk to health, life, property, or environment, and requires immediate action. So that is an emergency. An emergency is an
Mm-hmm.
urgent, sudden, unexpected, and unprepared for situation. All right. Now, that poses an immediate risk to health, to life, to property, to the environment, and so it requires immediate action. Now,
Mm.
by that simple definition, an economic crisis is not an emergency.
Hmm.
It's not an
Hmm.
emergency. It's
Hmm.
not an emergency. So it therefore means that even this inflationary season or period or experiences that the world is in is not an emergency, meaning
Hmm.
that it is now it is an inevitable event that happens to a person, a family, and all that. But then the point is that now it happens once in every while. It happens once in a while. So
Hmm.
it is now. It see, the point is that because it happens once in a while, okay, it should be expected.
Hmm.
It should be expected. It should be expected. See, now the point is the events of life may catch you unawares, but it must never meet you unprepared. It can
Hmm.
say it can catch you unawares, but it must never meet you unprepared. So the point is that so the question is some people are enjoying in this time, some people are not enjoying in this time. And now why and how? So they could say now I discovered, you mean that there are two groups of people, or let me say three groups of people, three groups of people in any economic situation. Three groups of people. Number one, I call that the first one, I call them the exiting group. The exiting group. That is the group that is exiting. 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 The exiting group. Now, then number two is the existing group. The existing group. And then number three is the excelling group. The
Hmm.
exiting group,
Hmm.
the existing group, and the excelling group. Now, the exiting group consists of two categories. Those in any situation that I call the dying. That is, those who have nothing at all, nothing at all, to live on because of the situation, nothing at all to fall back on. So they are the dying, and most times you've heard of people committing suicide and all that. Why?
Yeah.
Because they just there's not, and see, there's nothing I can do about it. So they become hopeless because they're clueless. So what now happens is that now in that exiting group, so you find the dying. Then of course in that exiting group you also find another category of people who I call the striving or the struggling. Now those ones, they may exit or they may stay. So they're in between. So now that is the exiting group. Now
Hmm.
those ones, those ones that are struggling, those are the ones that I say they don't they have not enough, not
Hmm.
enough, to live on. Not so the first group, the first category of the existing group, are those who have nothing at all. And so they are the dying. And then but then the
Hmm.
second category, is the struggling or the striving, that have not that they have not enough. Then you now come to the existing category and the existing group. That one also has two categories of people. I put that the first category are the surviving ones. Now these
Hmm.
ones have just enough, just enough, just enough to survive, just enough to see them through the crisis, so that they wouldn't die. So there's the surviving. But then you also have the thriving. You have the thriving category in that existing group. Now these are the ones that have, so these are the ones that are enjoying the best of their lives at this time. So they have more than enough. They have more, so they're enjoying themselves at this time. They're having the best of time and all that. Now, but then the group I love most is that third group, and I call that third group the excelling group. Now, why
Hmm.
are they the excelling group? They are the excelling group because they are their category is just one. They are the transitioning. They are the
Hmm.
transitioning. The transitioning. Now, see, oh Lord help. Now, the exiting group. The
Hmm.
exiting group are usually despondent.
Hmm.
They are usually despondent. the existing group are usually, especially the thriving ones, are usually complacent.
Mm.
But this excelling group are transitioning. That is, you know, it doesn't matter how the situation is, it doesn't matter how terrible it is. They have made up their minds that they're going to now see they're going to transition if they are now if they're in the existing if they're in the existing group, and the dying category. They have made up their minds, I will not die in this situation. Okay, I will not allow this situation to destroy me, to kill me. All right, I'm going to
Mm.
transit from this dying category to the, through the striving category to the
Mm.
surviving category. And then, in fact, most likely I'm going to transition, now, from the dying category, through the surviving category to the sorry, I'm going to transition from the dying category through the struggling category to
Struggling.
the surviving category. And if possible, and I know it's possible, that I can even transition from that surviving category to the thriving category.
Right.
So now, that's why I call them the excelling group, because they're
Mm.
transitioning. Now, they have made up their minds to transition. They have made up their minds, we're not going to stay here. Now, so what is the secret? What is the difference between the exiting group and the existing group? The difference between, like I said earlier, the difference between the existing and the exit, between between the exiting group and the existing group is choice and preparation.
Mm.
Choice and preparation. So they have chosen. So they made a choice to prepare, because they know that hard times will come.
Mm. Mm.
Do
Mm.
you get it? So,
Yeah.
so that's why they're in the existing group.
Good.
There is nothing that can happen that will make them to exit,
Mm.
because they have made a choice to prepare. They have made a choice to prepare. When we read, when we read the scriptures, you read the scripture like, the scripture like, at famine and at destruction you shall laugh.
Yeah.
Right now, the question is, why will you laugh
Mm.
at destruction and famine? You laugh because you are prepared against it.
Mm.
You
Mm.
are prepared. So there are people that have. That's why they are. That's why they are in the existing group. They are prepared against it. So they made a choice of preparation. They made a choice to prepare ahead of time, because they know that riches are not forever. They made a
Mm.
choice to prepare because they know that because they know that uh, 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 you know now that the prudent man foresees the evil and hides himself. So they have foreseen the evil. They've foreseen that, hey, this thing will not last forever. So they just hide themselves by making adequate preparation, so
Preparation.
that when this hit comes, now it will hit everybody, but you know what? It won't hit me out.
Mm.
So that's
Mm.
so it's a choice of preparation. But then now the differentiating factor, okay, that the excelling group has is the differentiation of choice. Choice choice of doggedness,
Mm.
choice of toughness. That's why you discover that in this season, Yomi, that everybody is crying, somebody is going to transition from the exiting group to the existing group, with people transition from the dying to the thriving.
To the
Why?
silent.
Not because that now see, not because the conditions are favorable, but because of the second thing I want to talk about this morning, because of mental adjustment. Mental adjustment. Mental adjustment. Mental adjustment. Everybody is now, see. Now, whatever situation that anybody finds himself at any time is based on his mindset. And
Mm.
mindset is simply environmental conditioning. So we're all our minds are conditioned by our environment. It's environmental conditioning. So it is mental adjustment, that a choice to adjust their mentality, that hey, even though this situation is affecting everybody, but you know what? There must be a way out.
Mm.
And there is a way
Mm.
out. So see, and the point is that now that mental adjustment that I want to talk to just brief talk about, because I know that we have a very short time, is that they have see there are a lot of mindsets, but let me just talk about one. It is either you have a scarcity mindset or an abundance mindset, or I call it a
Mhm.
scarcity mentality or abundance mentality. Now, a scarcity mentality is saying I can't afford it.
Yeah.
I can't afford it. There is no money. There is no
Mm.
business.
Mm.
Things are hard. Things
Mm.
are tough. There's no
Mm.
way out of this situation. That is a
Mm.
scarcity mentality. There is no business, no job, no money, no this, no that. That's a scarcity mentality. But an abundance mentality simply says, how can I afford it?
Mm.
He asked a question,
Good
how
question.
can I afford it? How can I get a job in this situation? How can I get a business in this condition? How? He's always asking how. See, the point is, now the first mindset of scarcity now is a statement. Is a statement.
Mm.
But the abundance mentality is a question. Is a question. You see, should I put it this way? Should I put it this way? That 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 the first mentality is a lead. Is a lead.
Mm.
LID is a lead.
Yeah.
But the second mentality of abundance is a lead. LEAD. So
L-E-A-D.
so this one, the lead closes, see, because once you say I can't afford it, and now there is no job. See, every idea, every connection, every network, anything that will bring that thing to you is closed. So so that scarcity mentality is a closure, while the
Mm.
abundance mentality is an opening. So that's why it's a lead. Is a lead. Is a lead. See, now the point is, see, the scarcity mentality, okay, now is a statement of finality. This thing cannot happen.
Okay.
But the abundance mentality is an inquiry. Is an inquiry. How can I do it? Of course, we have heard, that now that that everybody saw the apple fall from the tree, but it's only is it Isaac Newton that is, but only Isaac Newton who asked why.
Why?
Why? And
Why?
the thing is that, see, every time you have an inquiry mind, you live a discovery life.
Mm.
When you have an
Mm.
inquiry mind, you live a discovery life. That was why Isaac Newton was able to give us the law of gravity. It's as simple as that. It's so the same thing. So what I'm saying in a nutshell today, because next Monday I'm going to be now. I will just talk about the active engagement, because that's what that's what I know that so that will give us some other steps on what to do. Maybe I'll just
Yeah.
give them two or three. Now, but the point is, let's start from here. Let's start from here. So see, because the thing is that, look, if even though it's like this, what you need to be ask yourself now is how? How am I going to get out of this? How am I going to now? How am I going to how am I going to transition from this state? But maybe you're in the dying, maybe you're in the existing group. Maybe you're in the dying category, or the struggling category, and then of course you are asking yourself, how can I transition from this existing group to the existing group? Maybe the surviving or even the thriving. That is, you want to have the mentality of the excelling group.
Mm.
So it's important that yes, I know that, okay, you couldn't prepare before now, I know that, but now Now that you have, all you need to ask yourself is how. Let me say this, let me say this, let me say this. Every difficulty is an opportunity for prosperity.
True.
Every difficulty is an opportunity for prosperity. Every difficulty is an opportunity for prosperity. If there are no problems, there'll be no billionaires.
Mm.
If there are no problems, there'll be no successful people. Because the thing is that they just solve problems. That's all. They just solve problems. If there was no problem of sin, there will have been no need for a savior.
I see here.
So that now, if there was no problem of communication, there would have been no need for the telephone. If the so okay, so look at when we were in high school. Now, why did we lose a lot of our friends, a lot of that were best friends in high school? Why? Because there was nothing to connect us.
Yeah.
So there was a problem. So here came Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, everybody's connected. And then of course here comes WhatsApp, and everybody's connected. So now see, you lose your contact if you want to. Now, if you want to, you lose. But at that time, whether you like it or not, you just lost them. So today, let's just step out into this week and begin to ask how, how,
Mm.
how,
Mm.
how,
Mm.
how. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I honestly could not stop you anywhere in between for any questions. I just had to just keep taking it in myself. And I know a lot of people are also doing the same thing. You just laid it straight. And something you said just kept me thinking. The scarcity mindset is a lead. Once you have that scarcity mindset, nothing anybody is telling you gets
Mm.
past you. You see the impossibilities, you see the troubles, you see the problems, and you see yourself deep inside it and with no way out.
Yeah.
But the other person with the abundance mentality is saying, how?
Mm.
How can I get out of this? How can I make the next million, the
Yeah.
next billion?
Yeah.
And it's just the law of the lead. They
Yeah.
find their way out, and
Yeah.
everybody begins to follow them because then they
That's
are the
right.
solution providers that the world
That's
is
right.
looking for.
That's right.
Thank you very much, CS. It's been an
Thank you.
amazing time with you, and I'm
Thank you.
really looking forward to next week. I'm really looking forward to next week when we're
Thank you.
talking about the active engagement, the spiritual alignment, and a bit about the verbal endorsement. And I believe God that after these 2 or maybe 3 sessions, everyone will be well equipped to tackle the situation and understand that even in this season, you can
Mm.
thrive.
Mm.
And that's the bottom line, that every one of us will leave these sessions thriving in our world. Thank
Mm.
you so much, sir. Looking forward to having you next week
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. So there's a question I saw on this in the chat room
Okay.
saying that what are the things to do in financial management in scarcity environment? Those are things I'm going to be dealing with next week. I'll
Yeah.
deal with that next week. But and then of course by that time also, you have the link to the book that I mentioned,
Yeah.
um, uh, thriving in economic crisis. You have that one.
Yes.
Of course,
Um,
there are other books that I also have, which I'm sure will also help you maximizing your productive years. You know, and then of course the other one, Blueprint to Prosperity: Crafting Your Billionaire Journey. So all these books uh, are things that would really help to to give you access to this. But that thriving in economic crisis, and even a book, What's the Why? That one is very good for everybody. That's I love that one so much. All right, so I'll handle that question next week. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. You will handle that question next week. Thank you so much for being here with us. Looking forward to seeing you next week, Monday, by the grace of God.
Amen.
Wow, that was rich. That was so full. I kept writing and writing. I honestly couldn't stop him to ask any questions at all. And I know everybody that has been on this call have enjoyed it. But please don't keep it to yourself. Please share this video with somebody around you, a neighbor, a friend, a colleague needs to listen to this. Please share it with them. And of course, until I come your way next week, Monday, to continue this season, remember, if you can think it, you can be it, and yes, you can have it. And as always, together we win. I look forward to seeing you next week, Monday, by the grace of God. Until then, bye for now.